I think we're going to get started while some people are still signing on. If you guys have a guess, our clues were the secret reader grew up in Glen Cove but went to Landing School for kindergarten through 5th. The secret reader loves gardening and observing nature, and this secret reader has 2 kids. One is in 2nd grade and the other is in pre-K. Can you guys guess who the secret reader is? Hold up your signs if you know. Nicholas is right. Do you guys want to, let's see.
So cool, it's Ms. Taylor.
You guys tell me who it is?
This is
Hey Jack.
Okay, can our secret reader come on screen?
I'm gonna have the beauty.
What is that?
Oh no! Mom, it's Mrs. Taylor.
It's Mrs. Taylor.
Okay.
Let's get to Mrs. Taylor.
Do it.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. See your faces.
I didn't know it was you, Mrs. Taylor.
It was you. You didn't know it was me. I talk about my kids all the time.
That is her.
That's right.
I didn't really know.
I'm so excited to read to you today. I have a special surprise.
Hello?
Are you ready?
Hi, Ignacio.
Yes.
Saludos. Saludos, Ignacio, te he dicho.
All right. So everyone is going to stay muted for a little bit. I'm going to start my book, which is called Dr. DeSoto by William Stein. And I love this book because he's not just a doctor. They are engineers in this book and scientists in this book and problem solvers. And we all know engineers problem solve, right? They do their research, they make a plan, and they build things to solve problems. So I'm going to start reading Dr. DeSoto by William Stein. And I believe we used to have... Oh, here's Declan. Declan, say hello. Come here. I'm doing a meeting right now.
No.
Come here. Ask Ellie to go get it for you. Come here. You want to sit with Mommy? Okay. Well, this is called Dr. DeSoto. Here's the cover.
Say unmute. Unmute.
And there you see, Dr. DeSoto is a mouse. I'll be right back. Mrs. Taylor is going to give Declan something really quick. Come here. Come say hello first. You don't want to say hello? No. He's shy. So one moment, I'm going to go grab him something, and I'll be right back. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Hurry, hurry.
Okay. No talk.
All right. Mr. Taylor is at work, so Mommy is home with the kids. But that's okay. Here I am. I'm back. Dr. DeSoto by William Stein. And you see, can you tell what type of doctor this is? Let's see who's raising their hand. How about Anthony?
Dentist.
Oh,
You are correct. He is a dentist. And as I said before, he is not just a dentist in my mind, because he has made things in his practice to help him do his job. So I would like to say he's an engineer too. So I'm going to start reading Dr. DeSoto. Dr. DeSoto, the dentist, did very good work. So he had no end of patients. Those close to his own size, moles, chipmunks, etc., sat in the regular dentist's chair. Larger animals sat on the floor while Dr. DeSoto stood on a ladder. So he had to stand on a ladder for the really big animals. Look at that. He treated a lot of patients, big and small. For extra large animals, he had a special room. There, Dr. DeSoto was hoisted up to the patient's mouth by his assistant, who also happened to be his wife. And look at the contraption that they made. I see a simple machine over here, a wheel and axle, and it's making a pulley system to hoist up Dr. DeSoto so he can see his really, really large patient. So I would say this is an engineer and a doctor. Amazing. And there is a bigger picture. There you see. Dr. DeSoto was especially popular with the big animals. He was able to work inside their mouths, wearing rubbers to keep his feet dry. And his fingers were so delicate and his drills so dainty, they could hardly feel any pain. I like going to the dentist and not feeling any pain. I don't know about you. That sounds really nice. Oh, he had a sign. Let's read. Being a mouse, he refused. That means he did not want to treat animals dangerous to mice. And it said so on his sign. Dr. DeSoto, dentist. Cats and other dangerous animals not accepted for treatment. Wow, okay. Well, he wanted to protect himself. When the doorbell rang, he and his wife would look at the window. They wouldn't admit even the most timid looking cat. So not even the most cutest little daintiest cat they would not let in. Because what do we know about cats? Sienna?
They eat mice.
That is right. So they were taking precautions. They did not want these cats inside their office. Are there any other animals you can think of that a mouse would not want in their office if they were a dentist in real life?
A snake.
That's true. Let's see. How about someone else too?
Wolf.
How about Ignacio?
Lions?
I would not want a lion in my dentist chair if I were a mouse. That's correct. Yeah. Anyone else? Gabby? A what?
A fox.
A fox. Oh my. Let's continue reading and see who visits the doctor's office. One day, when they looked out, they saw a well-dressed fox with a flannel bandage around his jaw. Oh my goodness, there he is, a fox. and he has a bandage around his jaw. I cannot treat you, sir, Dr. DeSoto shouted. Sir, haven't you read my sign? And there we go. Here's the fox. Please, the fox wailed. Have mercy, I'm suffering. And he wept so bitterly, it was pitiful to see. Just a minute, said Dr. DeSoto. That poor fox, he whispered to his wife. What shall we do? Let's risk it, said Mrs. DeSoto. She pressed the buzzer and let the fox in. Give me a thumbs up if you think this is a good idea. Give me a thumbs down if you don't think it's a good idea. Let's find out what happens. He was up the stairs in a flash. Bless your little hearts, he cried, falling to his knees. I beg you, do something. My tooth is killing me. Sir, on the floor, sir, said Dr. DeSoto, and remove the bandage, please. And look at that. He's washing his hands because that's what doctors do before they are going to go to your T-zone. Remember, Ms. Taylor talked about your T-zone, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, and your hands, right? Your hands do not touch your T-zone. And that doctor, who's a dentist, is going to be working in his mouth, another person's mouth, so he's washing his hands. Very good. Dr. DeSoto climbed up the ladder and bravely entered the fox's mouth. Ooh, he gasped. The fox had a rotten bicuspid, an unusually bad breath. And that mouse looks very worried. Maybe it's the bad breath. There you go. This tooth will have to come out, Dr. DeSoto announced, but we can make you a new one. Well, that's very nice. Just stop the pain, whimpered the fox, wiping some tears away. Despite his misery, he realized he had a tasty little morsel in his mouth, and his jaw began to quiver. Keep open, yelled Dr. DeSoto. Wide open, yelled his wife. What do you think is going to happen next? Any predictions? Raise your hand if you have a prediction. How about, Owen?
Raise my hand.
Another who's good.
I think the fox is going to eat the mice.
You think he's going to eat him? Let's find out and see what will happen next. I don't know. I'm going to come back to the engineer. This doctor is a special doctor. He's not just a dentist. His wife is pretty smart too, because I think they worked on this together. They made some things to help their situation out with those big animals, right? So engineers are problem solvers. So let's see if they really get eaten, Owen. So Dr. DeSoto says, I'm giving you gas now. Well, that's not like the gas that you get in your car. So in second grade, we learned about the, gases and solids, liquids, all of that. Gas, this is a special gas that helps you it makes you sleepy when you're going to the dentist office or having a procedure. So he says, I'm giving you gas now, said Dr. DeSoto. You won't feel a thing when I yank your tooth. Soon the fox was in dreamland. Yummy, he mumbled. How I love them raw, with just a pinch of salt and a dry white wine. Oh, what was he thinking about? What do you think he was thinking about? Yeah, Carmine? Tell me, Carmine, go ahead.
Eating the mice.
I think you're right. I think he was dreaming about those tasty mice. Oh my, let's see. They could guess what he was dreaming about. Mrs. DeSoto handed her husband a pole to keep the fox's mouth open. There's lots of simple machines in this book. Now, Dr. DeSoto fastened his extractor to the bad tooth. Then he and his wife began turning the winch. Finally, with a sucking sound, the tooth popped out and hung swaying in the air. There it is. I'm bleeding, the fox yelped when he came to. Dr. DeSoto ran up the ladder and stuffed some gauze in the hole. The worst is over, he said. I'll have your new tooth ready tomorrow. Be here at 11 sharp. The fox, still woozy, said goodbye and left. On his way home, he wondered if it would be shabby of him to eat the DeSotos when the job was done. So he was thinking about eating those mice. But you know, those mice are clever. They're pretty smart. After office hours, Mrs. DeSoto molded a tooth of pure gold. That's a fancy tooth. And polished it. Raw with salt indeed, muttered Dr. DeSoto. How foolish to trust a fox. He didn't know what he was saying, said Mrs. DeSoto. Why should he harm us? We're helping him. Because he's a fox, said Dr. DeSoto. They're wicked, wicked creatures. That night, the DeSotos lay awake worrying. Should we let him in tomorrow? Mrs. DeSoto wondered. Once I start a job, said the dentist firmly, I finish it. My father was the same way. But we must do something to protect ourselves, said his wife. They talked and talked until they formed a plan. I think it will work, said Dr. DeSoto. A minute later, he was snoring. So they came up with a plan, and that's what engineers do. There was a problem, and then they made a plan. Oof, I wonder what it's going to be. The next morning, promptly at 11, a very cheerful fox turned up. He was feeling not a particular amount of pain. So he was feeling good. When Dr. DeSoto got into his mouth, he snapped it shut for a moment, then opened wide and laughed. Just a joke, he chortled. Be serious, said the dentist sharply. We have work to do. His wife was lugging the heavy tooth up the ladder. There she is. I wonder what they're going to do to solve their problem. They're engineers and they're also scientists. Let's see. Oh, I love it, exclaimed the fox. It's just beautiful. Dr. DeSoto set the gold tooth in its socket and hooked it up to the teeth on both sides. The fox caressed the new tooth with his tongue. My, it feels good, he thought. I really shouldn't eat them. On the other hand, how can I resist? Ooh, that sly fox. We're not finished, said Dr. DeSoto, holding up a large jug. I have here a remarkable preparation developed only recently by my wife and me. With just one application, you can be rid of toothaches forever. How would you like to be the first one to receive this unique treatment? Oh, wow, a unique treatment. Wow, let's see what happens. I certainly would, the fox declared. I'd be honored. He hated any kind of personal pain. You will never have to see us again, said Dr. DeSoto. No one will see you again, said the fox to himself. He had definitely made up his mind to eat them. Oh no. With the help of his brand new tooth. Dr. DeSoto stepped into the fox's mouth with a bucket of secret formula and proceeded to paint each tooth. He hummed as he worked. Mrs. DeSoto stood by on the ladder, pointing out spots he had missed. The fox looked very happy. When the dentist was done, he stepped out. Now close your eyes tight, he said. Oh no, close your jaws tight, he said, and keep them closed for a full minute. The fox did as he was told. Then he tried to open his mouth. But guess what? His teeth were stuck together. Wow. Excuse me, I should have mentioned, said Dr. DeSoto. You won't be able to open your mouth for a day or two. The secret formula must first permeate the dentine. But don't worry, no pain ever again. What a very smart dentist and his wife, right? The fox was stunned. He stared at Dr. DeSoto, then at his wife. They smiled and waited. All he could do was say, "Thank you very much," through his clenched teeth and get up and leave. He tried to do so with dignity. Then he stumbled down the stairs in a daze. Dr. DeSoto and his assistant had outfoxed the fox. They kissed each other and took the rest of the day off. The end. So this dentist and his wife were problem solvers. What's one way they solved a problem? Who can tell me how they solved a problem in this book? How about Nicholas?
Wait, I forgot. I forgot.
So they solved a problem in the book. What was the problem that they solved? I have Annabelle.
Mute. Okay.
They put glue on his teeth.
They did. They put glue on his teeth and it stuck together so the fox couldn't. He couldn't eat. That's right. Wonderful. Now I have another surprise for you guys. And I'm going to give you some hints to see if anyone remembers or knows what this is. This is something that started its life in the water. That's clue number 1. Clue number 2. It can also live outside of the water or stick its head outside from the water for a little bit. And it has webbed feet. It is an omnivore, which means it eats both plants and meat. And it was inside our stream room on the counter. What do I have to show you? Let me hear from the twins, the Dubois twins. Unmute yourself.
Is it a frog?
I think you're right. Let me show you. Let's see. Are they hiding right now, or do you see them? Let's see. Oh, they're hiding in the log. Let's see if they're. Do you see them? Awesome. Yeah, it's the Gribbin School.
I don't see them.
aquatic. It's the aquatic frogs, which I was doing my research and I found out that they are
I see them.
possibly, they're the African clawed frogs, right? And they, yeah. And then I did some more research and I found out that these little things can actually go dormant, dig a hole in the mud under the soil, right? And go dormant for quite a long time. But these guys like to hide in the log. And yeah, they're from Gribbin School. How cool is that?
Okay, goodbye.
All right. So we had a really, really nice session. I hope you guys enjoyed the book. I hope you enjoyed seeing the frogs. Are there any questions?
Mrs. Taylor, can I just say one thing?
Go ahead, Miss Santoro. I'm so glad to see you too.
First of all, I want to say that everybody looked nice and comfy and that they really, really enjoyed the book, but especially Blake and Mr. Foster. I wish I was laying on the couch with a blanket too. I went with the comfortable look because I was going out on a walk, and then I came back to hear the secret reader, and I was so surprised to hear that it was you. I want to thank you for taking the frogs home from school and taking care of them while we're not in school. That's really great. And when we get back to school next year, those frogs will be nice and big. I wanted to thank you for that. And then also, all of you guys, I just want to remind you that next Wednesday, we're having our second virtual field trip, and you'll really like it. Next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And then next Friday, we have another secret reader. The week after that, we have a very, very special treat for everyone. So there's going to be no seesaw assignments today, Monday, or Tuesday, so you won't hear from your teachers again until Wednesday. Nurse Liz, I see that you're here, Mrs. Taylor, and all you kids, and it's great to see everyone. I really, really miss you, and have a nice Memorial Day weekend.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thank you. I love seeing your faces. You guys look great. And thank you to the PTA for putting this together, too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. Bye. 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 Bye.
Who called my name? I just want to say something.